Now that's cool.
Until the power goes out.
Hey, they have them on pulleys too. You can pull that stuff out.
Was he on those wheelies or whatever, those ones you lean back and you wheel, or was he just Nick? You have those, don't you? Isn't that what you were over in Cambodia?
No? I don't have those.
That's
more of a first world thing.
That's lederhosen you're talking about. But I don't know. I think that kind of stuff to me is kind of cool. I mean, that was an office. That was a freaking walk-in closet, master suite, and it was an open great room with a kitchen.
There was a company years ago that with medical files, before a lot of that went digital, and these guys they invented this. They're out of Robbinsdale, and they had these huge file cabinets that would be 20 feet long, and they were 10 feet high or whatever the space would be. And they would hit the button, and the whole file cabinet would slide over. And then the other ones would follow, and it would open up and, wherever you wanted to get into the files. It was a really cool setup, but it was like, these were like $200,000 systems for these file cabinets, and these bigger medical centers that didn't have the space to give, that they, like urban markets where they don't have hey, let's put on another wing on the hospital. So they would have to rely on these condensed and they made a killing selling those things. So it is a cool technology. It just, what I didn't look at was the floor. The floor, when you roll that over, I'm assuming it's on some kind of a track. Is it hard on your feet? Is it, but I'm sure they got that figured out.
An awful lot of real estate agents are nowhere near being able to retire, nor will they ever retire. They may actually become a burden to their family members because they run out of money. One of the big problems that I see as I'm coaching realtors around the country is they want to make enough money to get by. When will that ever stop? You're going to be the 70-year-old realtor, the 80-year-old realtor, and beyond. You don't have a pension. You don't have a huge IRA and a 401k and all of those things. It's your responsibility. Don't freaking call me when you're 87 talking about I should have listened 40 years ago.
That's like Greg Luther. I don't know if you've ever watched him before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was the luxury guy, wasn't he?
Yeah. He had me. I was listening to some of his stuff, and then he lost me. He was sitting there one time going, you see this racehorse? I paid $6 million for this racehorse. This is a hobby of mine. I'm so successful. And you should listen to me because of my success. I'm like, immediately like, okay, now I want to do a background check on this guy and see if he even sold a piece of real estate in his life. And how did he make his money? And did he make all of his money off coaching, or did he make all of his money off of real estate?
Well, most coaches they can coach anything because everything they say is regurgitated just in a little different way to be able to fit that industry. So
I used to drag Chris, you guys, to a couple of these real estate training things here and there. The first thing out of Chris's mouth was, I'll go because it'll be a fun trip to Chicago or whatever. But he goes, they're going to tell you what you already know you need to do, and you just need to go do it. Thank you for that, by the way, because I've said that to myself so many times. You already know what you need to do. You just got to focus. And that's the key thing, that they get you distracted with the thinking you got to think differently, and you got to do this kind of advertising. And then, you get sucked into these programs as a real estate agent. It's being consistently persistent at the basics, and then having 10% of your day, the fun, new, shiny object. But 90% of your day is on your sphere, your customer base, what you're good at, right?